Three signs the universe doesn't want you to be with someone. Now, we've covered many signs and indications that the universe is moving you towards someone, or more accurately, moving you both closer together. But now we're going to go over some of the signs that the universe is saying it's probably best you don't get close to this person, or you don't spend time with this person, or whatever else. Now, this can be whether you're already spending time with this person, or you're even just thinking about spending time with a certain person. So let's go over what those signs are coming up next. Hi there, my name is Dave, and this is HeartSpace. If you're new to the channel, where I am creating videos every single day to help you connect more to what you truly are, which in my eyes is a divine, infinite, co-creative being. If you really want to have help connecting to that place, check out my free Higher Self guided meditation down below. And also check out my Instagram account, which you'll find linked down below as well, where I post some other kind of things, little stories, little tips and tricks in order to connect more with what it is I believe you actually are. Now let's get into the signs for this video. The signs that the universe is really telling you, actually that person is not either a good fit for you right now, or might even be downright toxic for you right now. You see, the universe won't choose for you. It's up to you to choose whatever it is you do in your own life. But the universe will usually, through different signs, different feelings, or some of the things we're going to go over today, give you a pretty clear indicator on what's going to be best for your soul, for your heart, for your journey right now. Now, a lot of times, many of us ignore these signs, and then the universe has to kick our butt a little bit to get us back on track. But it's unnecessary to have that happen. If that does happen, use it as the feedback it's meant to be. But we can also essentially avoid all that pain and suffering, or at least the suffering and the resistance, by just noticing the signs when they show up. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the first one, starting in reverse order with number 3. So number 3 is one I know that most of you, probably all of you, have experienced. And this is going to be one, it could either be someone new that you met, or someone you may have even known for a little bit of time or a long time. But have you ever had that feeling that you have plans with this person and you're just kind of hoping they'll cancel, or something will come up that prevents you from having to go? Well, if you're having that kind of feeling, if you're having that kind of mindset towards it, that is your heart and your soul telling you, look, you don't really want to do this. You just feel obligated to do this, or something that you've typically done, and so that's why you're doing it. This isn't something that you're actually connected to. This isn't someone you're probably actually connected to. It might even be you get a heavy feeling when you think about hanging out with this person. But if you ever had that feeling of just like, oh, maybe they'll cancel, maybe they're also, and a lot of times the funny thing is, and you may have noticed this too, and you may have heard people talk about this, if you feel like you want to cancel, most likely the other person does as well. Not always, but a lot of times that is the case, because that feeling isn't going to just be coming from you. I mean, that feeling is there for a reason. It's just like, oh, I hope he or she doesn't want to do it or cancel, but I already agreed to it. You can cancel or really, in my eyes, when it comes to agreements, your energy comes first. And so if you have to call someone up, message them and be like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it, or I'm just not feeling it, or whatever you need to say, then go ahead and do that. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that 5 minutes before, but I would still say it's better to do that than to go through something where your energy is going to be lowered and diminished for who knows how long, for hours potentially. Ultimately, you're not too excited to see this person. You're not too excited to go hang out with them or whatever else it is. And, you know, in my eyes, when it comes to relationships, why wouldn't you be excited about hanging around them? You know, the people I have close in my life, in my life, I never get bored of them. I never, you know, am not excited to talk to them or see them. And if I am just need some time alone, like sometimes I just need time by myself, I'll let them know and just say, hey, I can't do X, Y, or Z, or I'm not gonna be able to talk at this time or whatever. Just, I need some alone time. I need to be with myself. But for the people I hold dear and really close to me, I'm always excited to talk about them because they're usually on a similar wavelength or whatever else it is. And I move away from people who aren't on that wavelength, where it would just be boring, or it would just not make sense, or it'd be frustrating, or there would be a lot of resistance. And so if you're getting this indication or even this kind of blatant sign, then I would recommend, again, I would invite you, it's not something you have to do, it's all about your choice, but I would invite you to spend less time with that person, or to, you know, really ask yourself, why is it every single time I go to hang out with this person and we make plans, I want to do something else? I'd rather read a book. I want them to cancel. You know, they might be thinking the exact same thing too. It might be if you cancel, they'll be like, oh, thank God, who knows? But usually that means it's not a match. So if that's been helpful so far and this video is resonating with you, please hit that like button. And now we're gonna move on to sign number 2. So number 2 can happen romantically, can happen in friendships, but you keep kind of thinking about what it would be like with, say, other people or by yourself. It doesn't have to necessarily be with other people. It could just be by yourself. Again, if these are genuine heart-based feelings and it's not like, let's say it's lust-based, or it's like, oh, the grass is always greener kind of based. It's more just, yeah, I'm being compelled to hang out with different people, or I'm being compelled to do something different, or I'm being compelled and called to be by myself. If you are getting that constantly when you're with the person, or when even you're like thinking about hanging out with them or whatever else it is, there's a reason for that. I really am of the mindset that if you're not excited to see the person or hang out with the person or be around the person, then why are you hanging out with that person? This not just applies to romantic partnerships. I mean, I think it especially should apply to romantic partnerships. If you're not excited to see your partner, if you're not excited to spend time with them, excited to be around them, you're like, I got to go back and spend time with the wife or the husband or the partner or whatever it is, then what the hell are you doing, right? In my eyes, you should be excited to hang out with the people you call friends, the people you call, your lover, or if you're in a monogamous relationship or whatever, in any kind of thing. It should be like, oh, I'm excited. This is something I enjoy doing. We both have fun. We're playful. We're enjoying this experience together, co-creatively in this moment. If it's anything not that, in my eyes, it's definitely an indicator from the universe going like, this isn't a match. This is not an energetic match. And remember, everything is energy. At the end of the day, if the energy is not there, things aren't going to magically fall into place. The energy needs to be there. So if you have a certain friend group you're hanging out with, or you have a certain relationship, and you just keep thinking like, oh, what would it be like to be with other friends or other people or whatever else it is, then again, this feeling of that doesn't lie. Just identify, is this an egoic based thing, or is this a heart based thing? Is it like, I want to be spending more time with myself? What would it be like if instead of hanging out with these people all the time, I spent more of my time at home cultivating myself, self-love, meditating more, or, being in nature more by myself and listening to the universe? Like, if you're getting those kind of thoughts coming up, and this is the important part. I mentioned the word excitement a lot, but let's say you're thinking of that and you're getting excited. You're like, oh, I'm excited to see what would happen if I just didn't spend so much time with these people and meditated instead, or instead of these people, spent more time with these people who I feel better with, or whatever else it is, then that is the sign that that's probably something you should go off and do. Again, that's your choice, and this is just an invitation to take on to consider new ideas. But ultimately, where is that excitement taking you? Where is that heart-based feeling taking you? And in my eyes, again, that's the best place to move towards. And number one is probably the biggest indicator. And usually if you're at this point, it's been going on for a while. So this might be a relationship. This might be a friendship. This might be even a family member. It can be any kind of relationship, really doesn't matter. But this is something that usually manifests if you've been in something way too long. And I'm sure all of us have experienced this at some point. Maybe some of you haven't. And it's good to, if you start seeing this appearing, like, oh crap, remember, this is not good. But it's just a struggle being around or with this person, and you're not able to be yourself. And I think that's an incredibly important point, is you're not able to be yourself. Because if you're not able to be yourself around someone, again, you're not even there. You're not even present with that person. You're kind of have a mask. You're not able to reveal yourself. And that usually comes from a lack of trust. Maybe this person rejects that, certain parts of you. Maybe a certain group does that, and you don't feel safe coming out as who you truly are, in the sense of, maybe you're very playful, but whenever you are playful around your partner, they kind of go like, what are you doing? You're stupid, you look silly. Or in a group of friends, they make fun of you for whatever it is, right? It doesn't really matter. But if you feel like you truly can't be who you are and who you choose to be with a certain person or group or whatever, that is a huge indicator. It's time to start moving a little bit away from that, right? For the people in my life I have very close, I can act I don't have to act at all, actually. I can just be myself. I don't have to show up and think I have to walk on eggshells with what I'm saying, or I can't do something goofy if something goofy to do comes up, and and that's like, oh, that's how I want to express myself in the moment. I've had relationships in the past that have been a struggle. I've had relationships in the past where I haven't been able to be myself, even relationships that have lasted for a very long time, and I've removed pretty much all of those in my life. In fact, I think I've removed all of those kind of relationships because I've listened to the universe tell me, look, there's a reason there's resistance here. There's a reason there's struggle. It's not that one of you's better than the other, or one's good or one's bad. It's just not a match. And guess what? It's the same for the person on the other side. It's probably not very flow-based, very, very, amazing experience. It might just be because, oh, I've hung out with this person for so long. Oh, they're a childhood friend. That's a common one. Oh, I've been with this person in a relationship, a romantic one, for so long. But if that resistance is there, if the energy is just down and then struggle, then it's a huge sign that it's time to probably move away from this person, or at least start doing something to change that energy. All right, everyone. So those are 3 signs the universe doesn't want you to be with someone. Again, these are just awarenesses, right? You know, the choice is always yours. I'm not telling anyone how they should or shouldn't live, how they should engage in romantic relationships or friendships or whatever else. These are just some of the things I found helpful. And these are some of the things I truly believe the universe will give you to indicate whether or not it's good for you to be with someone in the sense of your growth as a spiritual being in a human body, right? Again, it's all a choice. It's not right or wrong, but it's about deciding, you know, how is this in relationship to how I want to be and how I want to live? And is it serving that, or is it kind of moving me away from that? So it's a good question to ask. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this video. Remember, you are loved. You live in a friendly universe, and I will see you in the next one.